For our next story tonight, let's go back in history. 110 years to be precise. On this day in 1915, a Pravasi, an overseas Indian, returned to his homeland. You must have heard of him. His name was M.K. Gandhi. The world knows him as Mahatma Gandhi. On this day in 1915, he returned to India from South Africa, after which he led the freedom movement and transformed countless lives. So this day, this milestone is celebrated by India with the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, a day dedicated to overseas Indians. Every 2 years, India holds this convention. It honors the contributions of the Indian diaspora to their homeland. Today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the 18th edition. It is being held in the state of Odisha. It is themed Diaspora's Contribution to Viksit Bharat. Viksit Bharat means a developed India. The world's most populous nation wants to be a developed nation by 2047. Viksit Bharat is India's ambitious roadmap, and this road is smoother thanks to overseas Indians.
सोशल वैल्यूज है जो आप सभी वहां की सोसाइटी में ऐड करते हैं. हम सिर्फ मदर ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी ही नहीं है, बल्कि डेमोक्रेसी हमारी लाइफ का हिस्सा है, हमारी जीवन पद्धति है. हमें डायवर्सिटी सिखानी नहीं पड़ती, हमारा जीवन ही डायवर्सिटी से चलता है.
According to the United Nations, 18 million Indians live overseas. They form the world's biggest diaspora, and they are a global asset because they are well educated. They lead in the global pool of educated immigrants, and they earn more. Many of them are doctors, engineers, or tech leaders. Take the US, for instance. This is the world's biggest economy. Last year, India contributed about 2 million degree holders to this country. That's 14% of their total educated immigrant population. 79% of the Indians living there are college graduates, which is almost double of the nationwide average, which stands at 34%. Which brings us to the earnings. Indians are the highest earning ethnic minority group in the US. Look at the median household earnings. The nationwide average is around $64,000. For Indian households in the US, it is over $123,000. That's almost double of the average. And this is not just about the US. This pattern is playing out the world over. Indians have become an indispensable force for countries across the world and by proxy for India. They are bolstering India's economy. You see, many Indians living abroad send money back home. These are called remittances. And they infuse billions of dollars into the Indian economy. Last year, this number stood at $129 billion, making India the top recipient of remittances globally. This is almost equal to the annual budgets of Bangladesh and Pakistan combined. This inflow boosts foreign exchange reserves. It drives development in rural areas, and it provides support to families. But their contribution is way more than monetary. You see, members of diaspora act as bridge builders. That's what they're often called, because they help build ties with other countries. They bring advantages to their new and original country, and they transfer skills and knowledge. Study after study shows that. They help drive progress in their home country. They increase their home country's recognition on the world stage. They fuel its soft power. They can also influence policy making in both their home country and the one they live in. For instance, when members of a diaspora are involved in politics, they're more keen to increase trade between the two nations. So there are many upsides. And we can see this with Indians overseas. They are growing in influence socially and politically. They're increasingly visible in global politics. From the US to the UK to Singapore, they are expanding India's cultural footprint. They're burnishing India's image and fueling economic opportunities through tourism and exports. So whether you look at the numbers or beyond, you will see that Indians stand out. They've positioned India as the global talent headquarters, as a country building a global workforce.
आने वाले कई दशकों तक भारत दुनिया का सबसे यंग और स्किल्ड पॉपुलेशन वाला देश बना रहेगा. ये भारत ही है जहां से दुनिया की एक बड़ी स्किल डिमांड पूरी होगी। आपने देखा होगा दुनिया के अनेक देश अब भारत के स्किल युद्ध का दोनों हाथों से स्वागत कर रहे हैं।
In a globalized era, the diaspora only becomes more important with each passing year. Whether it is technology, best practices, or resources, be it tourism, trade, or investment, the two-way flows you enable are invaluable.
This is not to say that there are no challenges. To create a global workforce or to achieve Viksit Bharat ambitions, India will have to do more than leveraging the diaspora's financial resources. India must tap into their knowledge, their experience, and their global networks. With innovative policies and platforms, India wants to do just that.
From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, shedding light on the world's top headlines. Detailed analysis on the stories that matter the most to you. Catch it all on Spotlight at 6 p.m. India time and 12:30 GMT. Only on Firstpost.